Is that Pharmacist Ben?
Yes, sir. The one and only, famous and important.
Yes, extremely important.
That's me.
Almost so famous that you gotta wear shades. How are you today?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
AJ, A Juice,
It's
Apple
it's been,
Juice.
it's been a little while, and I hope that the folks are out on the platforms because they had to listen to me for 45 minutes last week, and I'm sure that they
Oh yeah. What did you talk about?
are thrilled that you are here.
What did you talk about?
What did I talk about? The days run into each other. I did talk a little bit about some of the things that you and I discuss often.
Yeah. Yeah.
I played a couple of these videos that show some of mechanics of the body, and
Okay.
told folks that
You
they
did
have
it. You did it by yourself. You did the show by yourself.
not the show. I did a show because we had people waiting.
That's
I
awesome. Good for you.
I don't know, but I interviewed Jonathan Emord on Friday.
How did that go? I love Jonathan.
It went pretty darn good, I think.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I
He
think he ran for senator a couple years ago.
he did run for Senate last year, and he mentioned how he was uh, fortunate that he didn't get elected because it's a pay cut, right?
It's a pay cut. That's true. Not necessarily these days, though. Yeah,
Well, I know, right?
not necessarily. Not necessarily. It should be a
I,
pay cut.
I didn't go into the fact that he could have found some
Yeah, all that
inside trading
insider stuff.
opportunity.
Yeah, that's a nasty business. Those politics baloney. Speaking of politics, Have you heard from our senator friend in Florida? Excuse me, in Florida.
Of course, why?
You talk to him all the time.
I spoke to him recently. Why?
No, I just wondering. I talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think
You realize it's been up like a month since went down there.
yeah, but I think he's looking forward to us really building out his downline
Now
down.
on, do you have to go to Florida to do it?
No, I don't
You
need
gotta
to
go
go
down.
there to do it, but I need to uh, be more attentive to do it.
Yeah, well, you're doing so many things.
I do have quite a number of things on my plate, but
Yes,
you
sir.
ever you ever see that movie Limitless?
I've been meaning to. That's about modafinil. From what I was just listening to somebody talk about that.
Oh yeah,
Nootropics. It's about modafinil. I mean, not literally about modafinil, but that was the model for it. What made you think about that?
because there's this like really boorish type of Eastern European guy uh, who gets his hands on the super drug, and he says, because now he's got more intelligence that he's got. I got a lot on my plate. As he's preparing to chop the guy up. You're lucky I made time for you. I got a lot on my plate.
Oh,
You gotta see it. At any rate, Bootsy
yes.
is a great movie. Who's Grace? Okay, Wyoming Annie is asking.
Wyoming Annie. What's up, Wyoming Annie?
She's making fun of my title. Uh, my title of tonight's show is "Get Older with Grace," because the other way sucks.
Who's Grace?
Right, that's what Annie said.
Who's Grace?
That's exactly what
I want to
Annie.
get older with Grace.
Right. Well, yeah, that's our goal, right? We want to get older and feel good, and
Yeah, you want to feel good. You don't want to age rapidly at an accelerated pace, and you don't want to fall apart physically or cognitively, mentally. You don't want to fall apart. You want to gradually go off, die gradually. My mom is 92. I was just in New York for a week with my mom, and she's just deteriorating so fast. It just reminds me every time I see her that I'm taking care of myself. I am going to be doing, there's no sure thing. You never know what awaits you, what fate awaits you, but I'm going to do everything I could do so I could just go into aging as gracefully as I can. And that's why I always tell people, it's not, we focus on sick people, but healthy people need supplementation and digestive and dietary strategies so they don't get sick, so they can stay healthy. Yeah, you can do a lot of things if you're sick to reverse, to get healthy, but healthy people need to be taking care of their supplementation and dietary needs, etc., so they don't get sick, so they don't have to deal with a chronic illness. Chronic illness, even though it seems like it's normal and it has been normalized, more people have chronic diseases than don't. They're not normal. They're abnormal. And human beings are not supposed to be dealing with chronic degenerative diseases. That's an aberration.
And that is interesting. I know a lot of people go back to the Bible. I go back and I read those Sumerian tablets. I think those stories are great, regardless if you're true or not.
What do you read the Sumerian text for?
And they talk about this one guy. I think it's Enlil, and he.
Wait a minute. What are you throwing out an Enlil reference here?
I'm sorry.
Enlil and
I'm sorry.
He wasn't a guy. He wasn't a guy.
He's a dude for
he
these
wasn't
purposes.
A dude.
For the purposes of these stories.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a dude.
Yeah.
And he's procreating at hundreds of years old. And looking studly enough that the young fillies think that he's
Is that what it says in the Sumerian text?
It does.
It talks about Enlil just playing around.
Just can't control himself.
Can't control himself. All right. His brother, I think it was his brother, Enki, was the god of healing. Enlil was the god of destruction. He also did agriculture, but he was the god of destructive storms.
I think it's
calamity, famine,
I think it's
flood. Enlil is the flood guy. You saying it's the opposite? I'll bet you BTG it's not.
Enlil told Ziusudra that there was going to be a flood.
Yeah, Enlil is the guy who's responsible for tornadoes and storms.
Anyway, so back to health and nutrition. Bernadette, what's your opinion on urine therapy?
It's awesome. I've been meaning to talk about that actually. Urine is loaded with anti-aging and healing substances, stem cells, exosomes, growth factors, peptides. They're in your urine. Drink your urine, man. I'm serious.
Drink your urine and fix your gut with some feces, right? Some
fecal transplants and drink your pee.
Transplants.
Hey,
who needs nutrition?
When you got fecal transplants, they also have fecal capsules that you can take orally.
Oh man!
Yeah, you can literally eat. You know what I'm saying. No, urine therapy though, it's good stuff. I mean, if you get past the fact that it's a waste product, it's clean, and people drinking it for years. Urine therapy's been, for probably thousands of years, certainly hundreds of years. Urine therapy, but it's loaded with healing and anti-aging substances, growth substances, regenerative substances.
I've known that for many years, and if you ferment the urine, the stem cells multiply.
Is that true? Are you making that up? I didn't know that. That's news. I think I might have told you the story. It's kind of funny. When I had my maybe 30 years ago, a guy in Boulder, a doctor in Boulder, who had invented, or not invented, but he he discovered a molecule in broccoli called DIM, which is now, and he patented it. I don't know if he patented it. He patented the manufacturing of it. And he was experimenting with it. He wanted me to be one of the first guys to experiment with it. You can now get DIM everywhere. It's an estrogen blocker. It supports estrogen metabolism. It's called DIM. It's found in broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. Anyway, he wanted me to take his DIM, and then he was going to check my urine to check for my steroids and how the DIM, etc. So I had to do his DIM, and I had to pee into a gallon jug, like a gallon water jug, because he was going to check my urine at the end. So he needed a bunch of my urine to check it. So I would have to carry. I spent a day peeing into this gallon jug, and I remember that night I went with my girlfriend at the time to this fancy French restaurant.
And you spilled it?
No, I left it there. I accidentally left it there, and I always wondered who would discover my gallon jug of urine.
This guy,
you're not gonna believe what we found at table 14. That guy, man, a gallon jug of pee.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
I know, it's a fancy restaurant. So anyway, so what's going on? Who do we have?
Urine therapy.
Urine therapy is it's not going to substitute for supplements, because unless you take a lot of I wouldn't count on it for supplements, but for biochemicals that are important for growth and regeneration and healing and fighting disease, urine is a great source of those, particularly steroids.
Hophead on Rumble said, "Can we mix it with our BTT?"
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Look, I'm not going to tell you that I am, I would do it, but it makes sense,
Does it? You think it makes sense?
Yeah, of course it does.
This show is for educational purposes only. The contents is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
Why are you saying that?
Nor is it.
Why do you got to say that? Why do you got to say that?
Because I got to say it.
Is Becca on your case? Where's Becca?
Becca is still in Washington, to my knowledge.
Okay, gotcha. Where's Ruth Ellen?
Ruth Ellen had to do a show earlier today, so probably all showed out.
Where's Keely?
Keely's probably sick of me. Saw me Saturday. So.
Where those pretty two black sisters? Remember they used to come on the show?
Interesting. One's a client. The other with me earlier. The mom is a client.
Okay. What were their names? Kiara and something? Keely and Kiara, or Kiara and
Kiana and
Kiana.
She's gonna kill me for not Kiana. Because Kiana is easy because that's my sister's name. It's Kiana and Kenya. And their mom is Antoinette, and I think their mom is so nice. And we are currently assisting them with their nutrition, and the other will be soon. The questions that have come in, Pharmacist Ben, are all age-related questions, and I just want to remind folks before I go into these questions that there's an opportunity for you to help people and help them to age better, and you can do so by joining us. And if you'd like to join us as a health coach or distributor and learn directly from the teachings of Pharmacist Ben and Dr. Wallach, please email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com and just say, you know what? I'm tired of sitting on the sideline. I want to help some folks. I know Bruce is watching. Bruce will tell you that we have the ability to help folks. We are doing it, and you can be as hands-on as you like. We like it when you're hands-on and have all the education that you can. That way you can do it on your own, but we will hold your hand as long as necessary. What do you have to say about building a business, Pharmacist Ben?
I always thought that the best businesses are the businesses that make a real difference in people's lives at basic fundamental levels, financially perhaps, legally maybe, but definitely in terms of your health. And that's what longevity is. It's a business where you can make money, but at the other end of the equation are people who are getting off their drugs, or who are losing weight, or who are reversing their autoimmune diseases, or who are having better skin and bone and energy, and just overall deceleration or slowing down of the aging process. To me, that's the ideal business opportunity. There's lots of businesses. You can have a landscaping business. You can have a janitorial business. You can have a cooking business. You can have all kinds of businesses. But to help people with their health, that's an angel business. You're in the angel business. That you're helping people at the most basic and fundamental level there is. Look, I don't have a chronic degenerative disease. You don't have a chronic degenerative disease. Can you imagine what that must be like to wake up every day with some kind of autoimmune problem and the doctors can't help you, and you're just degenerating and degenerating and degenerating, like multiple sclerosis, and you know that a wheelchair is ahead of you and there's no way you can have any kind of medical intervention that's going to improve it? That's got to eat at you, especially if you have a family, if you have kids. If you to be able to share the information that we share on this program, and to be able to provide nutritional supplementation that is so transformative and life-changing, I feel so blessed to be part of this business. Not to mention the fact that it's a business, you make money, and you can write off your home office. I wrote off my computer monitor. I write off a portion of the rent of my house. You write off a portion of my mileage. There's so many ways that you can benefit from a longevity business personally, in terms of just feeling good about yourself, intelligently by learning about how to use nutrition for yourself and for your family, financially in terms of money, and perhaps most importantly of all, by making a positive difference in the world. And we can help you. We can help you do that. You should tell your story. Hey, AJ, you should tell. I'm sorry. Let me just say this real quick. You should tell your story. You have a great story. I don't think you've told it for a while, have you?
How I got into longevity?
Yeah, it's a great story and it's classic.
Why don't you paraphrase the story and I'll fill you in? I'm curious to know which part you like.
I like the part where you bought the product, you had it sitting there, you didn't take it, and one of your friends came by and started taking it, and he fell in love with the product.
That's not how it happened. I would never let products sit, but I did purchase it from my cousin.
Okay.
I purchased the products from my cousin initially.
And he didn't take it.
He didn't take it. He took a sip of Tangy Tangerine and was like, ew. And he didn't take it. But I never thought the products would be helpful for me, but I wanted to do a business. I wanted to sell Rebound. I thought that I could sell Rebound and make $1 billion because I thought that all the sports teams around the country would want a product that could help save young athletes from cardiomyopathic heart attacks. So I bought stuff, but because I had a cracked hip at the time and I couldn't really get around, it came with so much product when you had to get the pack or whatever, the distributor pack, and it came with like $500 worth of product or $600 worth of product for $500. I couldn't really get around so much, so I just started taking it. Like I couldn't. It wasn't that I hadn't tried it. I tried it, but then once I tasted it, I was like, well, this is good. Let me try this one. This tastes good. Oh, let me try this. And I just kept, just kept flooding myself with this stuff.
And how'd you feel?
And within about 10 days, I was playing basketball from not being able to walk 2 successive days for work. Like I had to Monday.
And you play full court
basketball, and the kids thought I was Michael Jordan. Like literally, they were like, "Who is this dude?"
Can you dunk?
Not today.
Could you at one time?
Yeah, of course.
No, don't say of course.
Of course.
You could dunk. You could jump. You could get yourself over the rim.
I played at the highest levels in New York City basketball.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you? There was this girl. Did I ever tell you the story about the girl who played basketball in my neighborhood?
No.
When I lived in Queens, and there were a bunch of the Yankees lived there in Queens. This guy Walt Williams, a few of them, and we would all play basketball. I was in high school. I was in high school at the time, and so we would all play basketball at the school. And there was this girl, and she would come, and she would beat everybody one-on-one, and she was just massively incredible. And we were all blown away with this girl. We would watch her. Everybody would hang out. Crowds would gather to watch this girl play one-on-one with the Yankee players. And she ended up being Nancy Lieberman.
No way.
Who's considered to be
Nancy
the greatest. She was right in my neighborhood in Queens.
Oh wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, in the 70s.
She coaches in the Big Three now.
Who does she coach for?
So the Big Three is a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that this guy Ice Cube created.
It's called the Big Three?
The Big Three is a 3-on-3
Ice Cube, the guy from Barbershop?
The gangster rapper Ice Cube, yes.
I just remember Barbershop.
Barbershop, yes, him.
Yeah. He was great in Barbershop. I gotta watch that tonight now that I think about it. That was a good movie.
Yeah. Well, he's got
but there's another Ice. There's Ice Cube and there's Ice Trey or Ice something. Ice T. Ice T is that's the other rapper.
Yeah, Ice T. Yeah. Ice T.
But
Nancy Lieberman and Cheryl Miller were they were so good that I was starstruck with them.
You were? Yeah, Nancy. You could.
Regular male basketball players. If I saw, if I saw Cheryl Miller, I would be just as as if I saw Patrick Ewing. It would be the same.
Nancy I'm telling you, crowds would watch Nancy. She would do spin dunks. She would spin and dunk.
She could dunk?
She could dunk. She could dunk, and she would spin and dunk. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was amazing. Bernadette, I don't know how old you are, Bernadette, but we can help you in Ireland. You need to email us.
What's Bernadette talking about? And we have, this isn't about, this show's not about me and you chit-chatting. We got to help the people. People don't want to hear us chit-chatting. Bernadette, how can we help you?
Bernadette, email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com. And Bernadette is dealing with, I think she said heart palpitations. Let me find this again. Bernadette is dealing with, SVT heart condition. Is that?
Yeah, she's got a heart problem. Her heart's racing, tachycardia. Ventricular tachycardia. So her heart's racing.
What's the S stand for, though?
Supraventricular. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Supraventricular tachycardia.
She's got heart palpitations.
Yeah, that's all. Her heart's not getting what it needs. Why? Because she's got dirty blood. Remember, all disease is cell disease, but all cell disease is preceded by dirty blood. I know I say it every time. I gotta say it again. It's all about the blood. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Why is heart disease the leading killer in the world, across the world? Why is heart disease the leading killer? Because everybody has dirty blood. When the blood is dirty, when I say dirty, Bernadette, I'm talking about sugar dirt. I'm talking about digestive toxin dirt. I'm talking about nutrient deficiency dirt. And I'm talking about hypoxia, low levels of oxygen dirt. So low levels of oxygen, sugar, toxicity from the digestive system. All of these will conspire to malnourishment, lack of nutrients. All of these will conspire to put a stress on the heart. Listen, the heart, when it pumps, and it pumps like 1 billion times in a person's lifetime, how does a heart pump? How does this happen? Individual cells in the heart have to conduct electrical energy like a battery in this perfectly synchronized fashion. Perfectly synchronized. And in order for that to happen, countless countless, there's no way to come up with a number, trillions, gazillions, bazillions, whatever. Countless tiny little chemical reactions and electrical reactions have to happen perfectly. When they do computer chips, you probably know this, AJ. When they make computer chips, they got to wear these hazmat gowns where they're covered head to toe. There's no skin exposed. And they're in these special rooms with special filters that and they have to wear special boots, and the floor has to be made of special rubber, because if a piece of dust gets in a computer chip, it's trashed. A microscopic piece of dust will destroy a computer chip. Well, your blood is even more sensitive than that, and cells are even more sensitive than that. So once you start to get inflammatory factors in the blood, dirt, once you start to get low levels of oxygen in the blood, once you start dealing with malnourishment and high concentrations of sugar, and the blood chemistry is disturbed, it becomes very difficult, if not impossible, for that energy to be conducted appropriately through the heart. Now, that's the mechanism, and I find it incredibly fascinating, and I think we should all be studying these mechanisms, but you don't need to understand it. I'm only telling you the mechanism so that you can see when I say clean the blood, I'm not just talking out of my butt. I'm not just saying, like, repeating some kind of jargon or slogan. I'm telling you how it happens. So, Bernadette, if you want to correct this problem, you can correct it easily, simply by slow, deep breathing to get some oxygen in the system. Moving your body around also helps get oxygen into the system. Making sure you're using nutrients, especially electrical nutrients, like your plant-derived minerals, as well as the B complex of vitamins and essential fatty acids and magnesium and zinc and selenium, a whole slew of them. Number 3, reduce your sugar intake dramatically and treat yourself like a blood sugar pack, in addition to the healthy brain and heart pack. And then if you have any digestive health issues, you correct those digestive health issues. Now, I've given you 4 steps, Bernadette, that I'm guaranteeing you 100%. If you practice your slow, deep breathing and move your body around to get some oxygen, and you get on nutritional supplement program, AJ can tell you what to do. You reduce your sugar intake and you treat yourself like a diabetic, get on the healthy blood sugar pack, use nutrients for blood sugar, and correct digestive problems. I'm guaranteeing you 100% that you will correct your ventricular tachycardia, or at least slow it down. Guaranteeing you. And you'll do it not only with no toxicity, but you'll get added benefits. Now, you're in Ireland, and you're probably, unfortunately, in Europe. You're immersed in the medical model because it's all free over there. So I doubt, I don't want to say that. I'd be surprised if you do all these things, because most people don't. I'm not knocking you, Bernadette, because I don't know you, but most people don't. When they have free medicine and they have free doctors, and we've been conditioned and programmed and hypnotized to believe that the doctors know everything and they can do whatever and they're gods and they know how the body works and you always go to the doctor, you're not going to do any of this stuff. But if you do it, I'm guaranteeing you that you can begin to reverse your heart conditions and add years to your life on top of it in a non-toxic way that you handle without having to go to the doctor. You handle on your own.
Bernadette Schlanagers-Bonnet, Pharmacist Ben, is she required to stop smoking?
Is she smoking? Is Bernadette a smoker?
You see it on the screen?
No. Bernadette. How do I address that?
So, I'm just wondering. Because you said you guarantee.
No. You can still smoke. In fact, you should smoke an extra pack a day just to make sure that look, every time you smoke a cigarette, you want to gargle with Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
Okay.
Every time you smoke a cigarette, you deplete your body of vitamin C from every cigarette you take, not to mention other nutrients. After you smoke a cigarette, gargle with vitamin C, or gargle with Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and then do a shot of Beyond Tangy Tangerine to mitigate some of the damage. But come on, you can't. It's
How
very
difficult.
Mitigate smoke.
Vitamin C, what's happening to your lungs?
I mean,
when
you're not going to
mitigate. Does that mean like
vitamins? Well, there's more. There's more. Vitamin C can help support collagen production in the lungs. That's one thing. But vitamin C can help the detoxification system work. And in addition to the mechanical damage from the smoke in the lungs, you also have metabolic damage. You have toxins. You have all kinds of toxicity, including heavy metals in the tobacco and in the paper. So, they put chemicals in the paper for the burning, so it doesn't burn really fast. Cigarette burns very slowly. Paper doesn't burn slowly. They got to put chemicals in the paper so it burns slowly. So when you're smoking a cigarette, you're smoking a cocktail of chemicals that are going right in your blood. So you can't think, there's very little that you could do to shorten your life. There's very few things that you could do that will more effectively shorten your life and cause misery than smoking. So I can't, if you're smoking, there's only so much you could do, but that just makes it even more important that you get on a nutritional supplement program, practice your slow, deep breathing, look out for digestive issues. It's like the immune system and the metabolic system are like a camel's back. If you start piling stuff on the camel, cigarette smoke and dysbiosis and sugar, processed food and emotional, psychological stresses on the camel's back, it's going to break eventually. But if you can pull things off the camel's back, even if you have 10 things on the camel's back, if you start pulling a couple off, it makes it easier for the camel to survive. So, if you're going to smoke, at least take your Beyond Tangy Tangerine and reduce your intake of other foods. But the thing is, of fast-burning sugars and processed foods, the thing is, and this is really interesting, people who smoke, there's psychological issues there as well. Smoking is a way of stimulating your chest, your heart chakra. And it's a dysfunctional way, but it does do that. And so sometimes people will smoke. One of the reasons they smoke is because they like the feeling in their chest.
They're missing love.
It's a love issue, I think. And when we think about what is smoke, you're putting hot fire into your chest. That's angry. That's self-hate. That's self-abuse. I'm not trying to judge anybody or be psychologically diagnose anybody, but that's a lot of maliciousness to put that fire in your chest, in your heart, literally in your heart and in your lungs. This is the key to everything, your heart and your lungs. And you're putting fire, not to mention tar and toxins and all the other things that are cigarette smoke. So I think there's usually something going on psychologically when people are doing that to themselves, but that's not my business. From a nutritional standpoint, you can mitigate the damage with vitamin C, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, vitamin E, N-acetylcysteine, selenium, glutamine, whey protein. There's a lot of things you could do to mitigate some of that damage. Quercetin, essential fats, essential fatty acids. There's a lot you could do.
Why quercetin?
Quercetin supports vitamin C, and it's an adaptogen. Quercetin, I think, is on the COVID protocol list. Yes.
Pharmacist Ben, I got a doozy. So you've spoken to these people before.
Yeah. What do you think of that Parkinson's article, by the way?
Again,
yeah.
Ben is right. I mean, I can't quote the article fully, but yes, that was part of the inspiration for today's show. And I wish, do I have it up? And I will grab that in a second.
How about that other article I sent you about chronic disease and leaky gut?
Again, it's just
again, right? Here's the thing though. I don't have to wait for studies. I don't have to wait for articles because I'm doing engineering. I'm not doing biology or chemistry. I'm working backwards from an engineering standpoint, and it just makes sense. How everything's connected. So you don't need studies, but it's just nice to be validated with them.
Yeah. It's just amazing that they will say that you could potentially benefit yourself by having vitamins when it comes to Parkinson's disease. If you just want to, if you bear with me for a second, this article here, and Pharmacist Ben, can you not see this article on the screen?
Yeah, that's the article. Yeah, I see
it. You see it?
Yeah, that's what I sent you.
You couldn't see stuff last week for some reason.
I couldn't?
Yeah, I would put stuff on the screen. You couldn't see it. Anyway, Parkinson's disease is the second most common neurodegenerative disorder following Alzheimer's. Clinically, PD is characterized by resting tremor, hypermyotonia, postural instability, and
What are you reading? What are you reading here? Are you reading that article?
This is that article. And ultimately,
can you make it bigger, or I can find it? If I can find it. Let me find it here. No, I got it. I have it on my computer.
Trying to make it bigger for the folks. Let's see.
The pathogenesis. What are you reading? Vitamin B and PD.
Benefits of vitamins in the treatment of Parkinson's.
No, which part? Yeah, I know, but which part of the paper were you just reading?
So we're just the introduction. Basically, it talks about A, D, E, and K.
DEEK. I call them DEEK, the fat soluble vitamins. DEEK. And by the way, A and D are hormones. They're not vitamins. Did you know that? Have we talked about that?
You may have mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? That means they actually make things happen. Vitamins help. Chemical reactions can't proceed without them, but hormones make them happen. They're orders of magnitude more powerful than a vitamin. So vitamin A and D, they're hormones. And not a day goes by practically without some discovery about vitamin D being related to intestinal health and neurological health and brain health and immune system health and skin health and bone health. You know why vitamin D is so important as a hormone? Because vitamin D is a major player in calcium activation and metabolism. And calcium, perhaps you may know this, AJ, but I don't know if our listeners know it. What did you do to this? Did you change the way this is, or is that me?
Did I change the article?
Did you change? No, the way I look on the screen. It's just me. I can't see you. Anyway, calcium is an activator. And vitamin D is important for calcium to do its work. It supports calcium entry into the bloodstream and into cells. So vitamin D, by virtue of its ability to help the cells in the body process calcium, is good for everything. It's important for everything. And how ironic is it that vitamin D is really a sunshine vitamin? You know, I mean, you get vitamin D from foods, that's true. But the best way to get your vitamin D is from the sun. You can supplement with vitamin D, and there's vitamin D in certain foods. Organ meats probably are the best way. Skin, chicken skins, and things like that. Fish skins, liver. But really, get yourself out in the sun. Now, interestingly, African Americans are notorious for vitamin D deficiency, and they suffer from vitamin D deficiency health issues more than Caucasians. Did you know this, AJ?
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, because melanin, as important as it is, will keep vitamin D from hitting the cells, from hitting your. It's actually, you know what it hits in the cell. You know what converts into vitamin D? How that works? Cholesterol in your skin is activated by vitamin D, and vitamin D is a type of cholesterol. Did you know that? It's a version of. Now you know it. It's a version of cholesterol. Next time some knuckleheaded medical professional tells you got to lower your cholesterol, you got to get that cholesterol down. We got to get your cholesterol down. I heard this comedian. He was like, I went to the doctor, and I was kind of scared to go to the doctor because, you know, last year my cholesterol was high, and you know, and I hadn't done anything different. So what are the odds it's gonna go down? And he goes, yes. I went to my doctor, and the doctor says, have you been watching your cholesterol? And the guy, comedian Brian Regan, he goes, oh yeah. He says, meanwhile, he's got these Burger King coupons in his pocket and stuff while he's saying it. You know, but cholesterol is just so silly. There's so many things in the culture that we take seriously that are just so silly. Silly. This fascination with cholesterol. Silly. What is it that causes your cholesterol to become disrupted? Sugar. That's what you want to focus on, not cholesterol.
What about oils?
And seed oils are a problem. You know, a little different, but yes, seed oils are a problem. Oils are a problem. And I've been talking about since pharmacy school in the 80s. I formulated thousands of different skincare products. Never once did I use a vegetable oil in there. Never. Vegetable oils are the worst thing you can put on your skin, and eating too. Frying the oils, deep frying the oils. It's terrible. It's awful from a chemistry standpoint. It might be delicious from a food standpoint. Do you ever have a deep fried turkey?
Possibly.
You would know. They're pretty freaking amazing. Deep fried turkeys. They take the turkey and they stick it in just hot oil and let it cook for like not even that long. I think like 4 hours.
Burn themselves.
What's that? Yeah, you got to watch out. That's true.
They do burn themselves
hot oil
from that. Before I go into our one serious question that we have, I was watching Bloomberg today. First of all, I was watching Facebook yesterday, and there's this guy. I think his name is Yaki Awakened.
Yaki Awakened, okay.
Pretty smart guy. Pretty smart guy. But he's making a distinction between the nutritional needs of African Americans
and white people,
Caucasians.
What? Like, what's his point?
His point was we African Americans can't process lactose. Was one of his points.
You know, that's interesting you say that because the first people to use cows for milk were Africans. The Maasai.
And he said for this one tribe,
the Maasai. The Maasai.
I can't imagine it's the Maasai. It's so
no, it's the Maasai. They're known for drinking dairy.
And so said for that tribe, no one else in Africa, he said, can process.
Nobody can. Europeans can't either.
There's some Scandinavians who can.
Europeans can't process. Mm-hmm. Nobody can. Very few people can.
Right.
It's just we've lost animals. Milk is for babies to grow into adults. But like with urine, mother's milk, breast milk is so packed with nutrients. It's the most amazing health food. We should all have our own breast to drink milk from. He was
saying, then he went on to say that the coconut is shaped like a breast, and we should not be drinking. We should be drinking from the coconut.
Well, the coconut's good, but it's not going to give you everything you need just because it's shaped like a breast.
He's saying that we should not be consuming polysaccharides like a winter in milk. And the first thing I thought was ZRadical when he said that.
No, I don't know what that guy's talking about. The polysaccharides are very regenerative, and they stimulate the growth of the nervous system and the digestive system. So the polysaccharides in milk are stellar. Unless he knows something I don't know. From a biochemistry standpoint, the polysaccharides are the superstars of the. Well, it's hard to say because there's so many good things in mother's milk, but the polysaccharides are among the superstars of the nutrition of the nutrients. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. Put him on, bring him on the show.
Well, I'll try.
Yeah,
I will try.
Does he know what he's talking about? Is he well read? Does he know what he's talking about?
Does he know what he's talking about?
Yeah, sometimes people speak, they don't really know what they're talking about. Somebody told them something or they believe something, but it doesn't make sense. So I don't know if he knows what he's talking about, but I wouldn't mind him coming on the show.
You ever hear Dr. Sebi? You remember?
Of course, I know Dr. Sebi. I mean, I don't know him personally.
He's kind of like the modern Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi, he was not on. He was not wrong very often, Dr. Sebi. I like Dr. Sebi. There were some things that I didn't agree with Dr. Sebi, but he understood the power of food. Dr. Sebi was really understood the power of food and the power of not eating, the power of eating less and the power of fasting. I like Dr. Sebi, I have to say.
And the thing I found flawed about what Sebi said was he was talking about food in I think his country was Panama. I forget which country he lived in.
He was from Honduras, Dr. Sebi.
Honduras. His food is rich in nutrients. So yeah, you can do all these things with food in Honduras, which you can't do in America.
That's very true.
Has no nutrition.
That's very true. Yeah, Dr. Sebi, he was all right. Mm-hmm. I wasn't 100% on board with Dr. Sebi. He was all about plant based. That was his thing, right?
Okay. So for this guy, so We have a couple who you met in the past. They have a milrinone. The husband's got a milrinone drip. Do you know milrinone?
Milrinone. Oh, Oh, he's on an IV.
Yeah, for the hearts, and it caused an infection, and they're working now to get this pump off of him to stop the
That's what
meds.
happens. You can't just stick things in your body like that. Milrinone is a inhibitor of a certain enzyme, and they use it for heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
And this enzyme inhibitor that they use for heart failure, it increases the contractions of the heart and relaxes the blood vessels to improve blood flow. Basically, that's what it does. So they use it for acute heart failure. If you're at the point where you have acute heart failure, you've been mucking things up for a long time. If he's on an IV drip, he's in the hospital, right?
No, at home it's a
at home. Oh, they do at home. Oh, okay, gotcha. You know, it's not without side effects. It's pretty powerful stuff, but they give it to you when they don't have any other options.
Well, they're saying that his heart's stronger since he's been on a nutritional supplementation plan. And
you know, if I was him, first of all, how old is he?
70s, high 70s.
Okay, so he's been mucking things up for a little bit. Okay, so what I would be doing is I would be doing everything we tell him to do with nutrition and with diet, and he can call us up, we can talk to him, and then gradually, as his body gets stronger, wean himself off the meds.
That's what they've been trying to do.
Yeah, so get him on the healthy brain and heart pack. Healthy brain and heart pack, right? Ultimate selenium, ultimate niacin, FucoidZ. I take extra ultimate EFAs, like maybe 16 a day or 20 a day kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Why that many?
Because you don't get a lot in those capsules. Don't have a lot in them. You need
what's the importance of the EFA in relation to this heart problem?
Oh my God, everything anti-inflammatory. The inflammation system is controlled by the essential fats. I don't know about 20. That might be a lot. I take 12 or so, and I don't really have. I'm just taking them. So maybe 15 or so. But the point is they control the inflammatory system. Inflammation and anti-inflammation are in tight balance. You need both. You need inflammation, you need anti-inflammation, and they're balanced, right? Many of the things we do today encourage inflammation. That's what all disease is, inflammatory. So using essential fatty acids is like nature's aspirin. They're like natural inflammatory balancers. And that's what the EFAs do. They reestablish inflammatory balance. It's not cut and dry, though. How much you need, how much omega-6 to omega-3 you need, what your health issues, your lifestyle issues, the impact they're going to have on how much you need. It's not a sure thing with essential fats. So you got to play around with them a little bit, but you need them. I've seen dramatic things, particularly in the skin, with essential fats.
I cut you off. You were saying you were running down things. You said niacin. You said
for the guy with the heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not ultimate niacin, ultimate selenium, ultimate EFAs, FucoidZ, healthy brain and heart pack, TMR shake. What else? There's probably some other things I'm missing. There's other single nutrients you can take. I take extra thiamine, extra arginine. What else here? Maybe some sweeties, control the blood sugar. Extra niacin, maybe. Yeah, there's things you might want to take extra singular of.
Besides the niacin plus?
Yeah, no, I take the niacin plus, but vitamin C in high doses can be helpful. Like grams of vitamin C a day. That might be something to think about too. Mm-hmm. Vitamin C is very, very, very important for the heart. Very. And a very compelling case can be made that heart disease is a form of scurvy. Mm. I'm not saying that I know that for a fact, but a compelling case can be made for that.
Yeah, okay. What's better for leaky gut, nightly essence or daily digest?
What's in the daily digest?
Daily digest is
it's enzymes.
It's got enzymes, and it's
There's probiotics in there too, I think, right?
Yeah, there are some probiotics.
I would have to see. And there's a new probiotic supplement they just came out with.
That one's for women only.
Oh, really? Like the what do you mean for women? What happens if a man takes it? Will he grow breasts and lady parts?
He'll just become very sexy.
Yeah, he'll want to have the surgery. He'll want to have the surgery.
Okay, wait. So the Daily Digest, by the way, it's a true to life Daily Digest.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot what's in the Daily Digest, but I don't want to marginalize the Nightly Essence. It's an amazing product. They're both important. I don't want to say one is more important than the other. I guess if you had to pick one, maybe the Daily Digest because it has everything. But
it's got a liver cleanse capsule. It's got a microbiome support capsule. And
I don't feel comfortable saying Daily Digest instead of. I'd say both.
Bromelain, yeah, probably.
I would say both. Yeah, I would say both.
Okay, we got a question that just came. We had two questions just came in. James is saying, I have two small dime-sized dry scaly patches in the skin and on my back. My chiropractor noticed them recently. He said they were fungal patches. What causes them and what can be done about them?
Say that again. He noticed patches on his back and they were fungal in origin.
Two small dime-sized dry scaly patches.
Yeah. I don't know that they're fungal. They could be a lot of things, but assuming the doctor's right and they're fungal, a couple things you can do. First of all, you can go get Lotrimin or Myconazole from the drugstore. They're antifungals, topical antifungals. Secondly, if you want to do it for metabolically, there's a balance between bacteria and fungus. They live in balance with each other. Bacteria control fungus, fungus control bacteria. A lot of antibiotics come from fungi. Penicillin was derived from fungi, because fungi make things to kill bacteria and vice versa. You can go to the bathroom. I always think, what do you need? What do you need, sir? What do you need, young AJ?
Yeah, I don't know if it was penicillin. I was going to say penicillin, but I went to the wedding.
Penicillin came from mold. Penicillin came from mold.
I went to the wedding of a guy whose father or grandfather invented like penicillin or something like that.
No, he didn't invent penicillin.
I'm trying to tell you that it was some well-known powerful drug that he invented in the 30s or 20s, and we went to their wedding.
What was his last name? Fleming? I think it was Fleming who discovered it.
I forget, but it was the biggest synagogue in Manhattan, like the on Fifth Avenue. It's like, so whatever, whatever he inherited.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because the 20s and 30s were the glory days of pharmacy. The 30s, actually from the 20s to the 60s, were the glory days of pharmacy. By the 70s, it was starting to fade a little bit. But from the 20s to the 60s, pharmacy could do no wrong. It was miraculous what people could do with drugs. And drug companies made tons of money. Drug stocks went crazy. They were considered like magicians, people who could make drugs and take care of epilepsy and arthritis and autoimmune diseases and such. They didn't know about the downsides yet of the drugs. So there were a lot of drugs that came out in the 20s and 30s. It was really a very big time of great advancement in drugs, particularly with antibiotics. But as far as the fungal guy goes, bacteria make antifungals and fungals make antibacteria. And when you're dealing with dysbiosis, fungal infections can arise. So topically, I would use Myconazole or Lotrimin, or you can get prescription topical steroid, betamethasone or something like that. Or you could just work on look for other symptoms that are usually digestive and work with dysbiosis.
All right, Pharmacist Ben, I hope you're sitting down.
Yes.
Because this is a tough question coming in.
Okay.
And I'm not. I hope you're sitting.
I'm sitting.
Is there a way to heal the nerves damaged by diabetes, which has caused retrograde ejaculation?
Retrograde, that means ejaculating inside? Or ejaculating late?
I don't know what retrograde means. After the sun goes down? No,
I don't know what that. I never heard that term. Retrograde.
I'll look it up for us.
Look it up. Retrograde.
So, For years, this is the part you're sitting down for. For years, I was, not that the other part wasn't sit down worthy, but this one, for years, I was told that my intake of sugar caused my diabetes to for years, I was told my intake of sugar caused my diabetes. To learn that an organism within the pancreas eats the insulin produced, which reduces this insulin.
Hang on. An organism within the pancreas, did you say?
Saying there's some sort of parasitic entity in the pancreas, which is eating his insulin, which reduces the insulin to the blood. There must be some herbal supplement which can destroy this organism living and thriving within the pancreas. And there must be some herbal supplement that can restore the nerve health to soft tissue. I would like your thoughts on these two matters of my concern. Thank you for your podcast and products. I look forward to hearing any advice you can share. By the way, Bernadette, you need to email me questions@dailywithdoc.com. I have help for you in Ireland. Your thoughts on this question we just read?
There are parasites, parasitic infections that can be found. And diabetes, people have diabetes, their metabolism is totally thrown off. So you can't say the parasites cause the diabetes any more than you can say the diabetes causes the parasites. It's like a chicken and egg thing. You know, there's parasites present, so people who don't really understand chemistry will say, oh, the parasites cause the diabetes. But it could be the diabetes led to a condition where the parasites could overgrow because the blood sugar system suppresses the immune system. And when you have diabetes, you oftentimes have digestive issues. In fact, they precede diabetes. So I wouldn't say the parasites are eating his insulin. There is this, I have heard that there's parasites, people who have diabetes can have higher parasitic load, and everybody has parasites. They're part of our microbiome. But I would not go, that's not right. That's not right. Diabetes is a brand name for a biological condition called dysglycemia. It's associated with insulin resistance. That is a much more powerful place to work than to worry about an herb that's going to kill a parasite. That's silly. So you want to work on the insulin, and by taking nutritional supplements and reducing your sugar load and lowering the blood sugar by, again, using supplements, reducing your sugar load, drinking more water, using more, exercising more. As you exercise, sugar gets shunted into the muscles from the blood. It lowers your blood sugar. And that's a much more intelligent strategy than try to kill parasites. If you do all the things I just said, not only are you going to address your diabetes, but you're going to live a longer life. You're going to reduce your risk of heart disease. You're going to reduce your risk of autoimmune disease. You're going to reduce your risk of cancer. You're going to reduce your risk of neurodegenerative conditions, Alzheimer's disease, dementias. Killing parasites, I don't even want to address that. What's the retrograde ejaculation?
Oh, man.
Is that like delayed ejaculation? Like a delay?
Bladder, retrograde ejaculation is when semen enters the bladder.
It goes the other way.
Exiting through the penis during orgasm.
Yeah, it goes the other way. I have heard of that. And he's saying it was nerve damage.
While harmless, it can cause male infertility. It's caused by the failure of the bladder sphincter to close, often due to nerve damage, diabetes, MS, medications, or prostate surgery. Yeah. You can, depending on how severe the damage is, you can definitely do things. B vitamins, ultimate EFAs, magnesium, zinc, cholesterol, phospholipids, lecithin. Those are all important. Alpha lipoic acid. Those are all things. It's like a neuropathy, thiamine. You've heard of peripheral neuropathy? Yes.
That's a different kind of peripheral neuropathy is in the periphery, the extremes, fingers, toes, hands, feet. This is a different kind of neuropathy, but it's still neuropathy. Neuropathies and diabetes go hand in hand because sugar damages the nerves. So, get off, do all the diabetes things. It's very simple.
Pharmacist Ben, when you talk about maybe utilizing extra thiamine, What type of dosage are you talking about for the average person?
100, 200 milligrams a day, 300 milligrams a day, divided doses because you'll urinate it out. The recommended daily allowance is like, I think 10 milligrams or 15 milligrams. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best things you can do for chronic constipation is thiamine. And I would say thiamine deficiency might be one of the causes. Because if you're doing what your doctor said and just doing the RDA, I'm looking right here on my Beyond Tangy Tangerine here. If you're doing just what the doctor says, and you're just taking the 10 milligrams or 15 milligrams from a multivitamin, you're not getting enough thiamine. You want to hear something interesting? When I was drinking alcohol, doing my alcohol drinking days, I would carry supplements with me. I carry N-acetylcysteine with me, and I carry B vitamins with me, and I carry thiamine with me, and a lot of it. Oops, hang on a second. And a lot of it. And in the middle of the night, I would take them, and then when I went to bed at night, I would take them, and they were incredible for hangovers. And you know what I didn't do when I was drinking? I would not go to Denny's and eat pancakes and potatoes, and French fries.
What did you eat? What was your
anything? I would be the weird guy not eating.
My it's funny because my buddy is a dentist and he reminds me of you.
Yeah.
And he would not eat, stand in the kitchen and be down in the jack. Like he could drink.
He could drink, huh?
He could drink a whole bottle of Jack
Daniels
in an evening.
I don't know how I did it. Tell you the truth, I couldn't do it again. That's for sure. I haven't had not that I'm not like a teetotaler or anything, but I just haven't had it for years. And the last time I had it, it just knocked me out.
Okay, Keely said, "Is it true that fungal issues can also be tied to a high toxic load in the liver?"
Everything's tied to a high toxic load in the liver. There's no a direct relationship like high toxic load in the liver causes a fungal infection. But if you have a high toxic load in the liver, your body's immune system is likely suppressed. If your body's immune system is likely suppressed, you're not going to be able to handle the funguses effectively. So, yeah, but everything is a high toxic load in the liver. That's what all disease is. That's a triangle of disease. So yes, it can. But not like directly. It's just because that puts a load on the detoxification system. That is a great book, by the way. Yeah, I recommend that. That's called Why Animals Don't Get Heart Attacks. Exactly. That's written by, I think it was Matthias Rath who wrote that. And he's right. Do you ever wonder why animals don't get heart attacks? Because they make their own vitamin C.
Mm.
Yeah, vitamin C is an incredibly valuable cardiovascular health nutrient. And that's why there's almost like a conspiracy against vitamin C because it's so easy and it's so cheap. It's like, why aren't they telling everybody you want grams of that stuff? Grams of it. Not 100 milligrams. Are you joking? 100 milligrams of vitamin C is like, there's 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C in a teaspoon. So 100 milligrams is 1/10 of it. What is it? It's 1/50th of a teaspoon. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? That's you take a teaspoon and divide by 50. And that's how much vitamin C you need? What are you talking about? That's absurd. It's absurd. So anyway, I gotta get going here. Do we have any other questions?
Becca says rabbits have heart attacks.
Rabbits have heart attacks?
That's what she said, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. You want to hear something funny about rabbits? When they were determining the relationship between cholesterol and heart disease, they did it by feeding rabbits lots of meat. Or lots of cholesterol, I should say. Not meat, but maybe with meat, but lots of cholesterol. Rabbits don't eat cholesterol. They're vegetarians. And so lo and behold, when the rabbits got heart attacks, they said, "Oh, it's the cholesterol." No, it's not. That's a classic scam in the annals of medical history. That's one of the most classic scams there was feeding rabbits cholesterol, and then when they got heart attacks, blaming the cholesterol instead of the.
And they're herbivores.
And they're herbivores, exactly.
Okay, Pharmacist Ben, let's wrap it up. Give people a bit of advice as far as how to help their aging family and kin, and how they can do it as a coach.
Yeah. Eat less food. Look for other ways to entertain yourself. We eat food to bond or to improve our mood, to reduce our cortisol. Come up with other ways to reduce your cortisol, to bond, to improve your mood. That's one of the most important things you could do, is eat less food. Check in with your belly when you eat. That's probably the most important dietary thing I could say. Drink Beyond Tangy Tangerine every day. Make sure you do a little bit of exercise every day. Make sure you figure out how to activate the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system through slow, deep breathing, muscle relaxation, gratitude, warm water. You want a really easy way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system? Hum. Do you know humming is one of the most incredible health strategies? You send these vibrations to all the liquids inside your head. You know what I'm talking about? It's amazing to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Like om. Same thing. Vibrate.
And it also vibrates the oxygen in your mouth, and then that
absolutely, it stimulates the blood flow, stimulates oxygen. Sighing, going like this, that's another way you can activate the parasympathetic nervous system. How would we keep weight on the
older folks, our older family?
Resistance training in combination with TMR shake and protein. Resistance training. You don't need to go to the gym. You can just do isometrics, isotonics, bands. $5 on Amazon for bands. You put them on your feet, and you could do like sit-ups. You do back exercises, calisthenics, yoga, stretching is so important for older people. But for putting on weight, you need resistance training. You don't want to put on weight. Nobody wants to put on weight. People want to put on muscle mass. If you want to put on weight, just go eat pizza every day and ice cream and cake. That's not the problem, putting on weight. Putting on muscle, you want lean muscle mass is what you're looking for, and that's resistance training.
Mm-hmm. And should people become a health coach to
help ketogenic diet and fasting? And yes, being a health coach is great. Ketogenic diet and fasting and resistance training. That would be my strategies for building muscle when you're older, or any age. And then also, the health coach is great. It's a great thing for you to do just for yourself, let alone the people you can help, let alone how good it's going to be for business. It's just good to do it for yourself, so you can understand how your body works. Yes, I'm a fan of the health coach program.
Pharmacist Ben, I appreciate you. You're on Friday with us on Daily with Doc?
Can't wait.
You can't.
Can't wait.
Ben, I'm glad you made it home in one piece, and
thank you.
I would like to maybe talk to you offline about.
Call me tonight.
See you soon, my friend.
Okay, buddy.
You man.
Bye.
Thank you.